Kumbaya, my lord. This isn't just kumbaya talk. Purpose drives impact. Looking to empower up your day? Tune in to Evolve Together with Empower People on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. Join me, host and Empower People founder Tiffany Joy Greene, MBA, as I bring dynamic leaders, change makers, and entrepreneurs to share their journeys, challenges, and successes while driving their purpose to drive positive impact and empower people. Empower People is an organization that provides education, connection, and support to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. Catch us every Tuesday at 5 a.m. on ESPN Richmond and join Empower People today. What are you waiting for? We even have a free membership. That's right, free. Visit www.empowerpeople.org. That is MPWRPeople.org. You can also visit us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Evolve Together. Welcome to Evolve Together with Empower People, the show that brings to inspiring stories, expert insights, and transformative advice on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. I'm your host, Tiffany Joy Greene, founder of Empower People, otherwise known as the Princess of Purpose and Manic Maple. Each week we dive into topics that are rooted in how purpose drives business and positive impact. Join us as we connect with dynamic guests, explore innovative ideas, and empower you to evolve and thrive in every aspect of your life. Stay tuned, because together we can achieve greatness. Let's evolve together. To learn more about Empower People, you can visit www.mpwrpeople.org. That's mpwrpeople.org, or find us on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, or hashtag Empower People. Today we have the Hope Dealer. Please hear me correctly when I say the Hope Dealer. Chris Mayfield, welcome to the show again, my partner in crime. Oh, that doesn't sound good after I say Hope Dealer.
Not after Hope Dealer. Geez. This I always love these conversations. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks for the opportunity to share. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you. I am so grateful to have you here today. Could it be the week of Thanksgiving? I do not know. So I know it's your favorite holiday, but I digress. So
It is, yeah.
So I thought we would talk about gratitude today, Hope Dealer, as well as how does gratitude and working within and having ecosystems play together, and how vital are they for, or essential are they to have each of those, right? How are they dependent upon each other? And I know that this program will air on ESPN after Thanksgiving, but we all know that we will all be, how should I say, reflecting upon our Thanksgiving week. So I think it'll still be top of mind. So I'm going to ask you a really personal question.
Okay.
How has gratitude impacted your life, and how has gratitude played a vital role in your successes?
Sure. So I'd like to share, I like to share a little bit of stories from time to time. I know this is shocking to you,
No.
but I want when we talk gratitude, I always like to share, and particularly when we talk gratitude about networks and people inside your networks. We often forget about the people that we don't really perceive as being directly in our networks, but have fundamental impacts on our life. So I'll share a quick story. When my son, who is now 31, first graduated from high school, he was going to go to college. And being a typical teenager, he missed registration deadline by a day.
Ooh.
Right. So he went to the school, and he went to admissions, and he was like, I only missed it by a day. This isn't fair, right? You're going to destroy my future because I missed it by a day. So he came home, and he was just mad, right? He was upset that they wouldn't bend their rules because he missed it by a day. So I threw him back in the car, and I said, all right, let's go back to admissions. And so we walked in the admissions office, and there was a lady sitting behind the desk, and I walked up to the desk. I said, "Ma'am, we just need your help, and we would really appreciate it. Is there any way we can talk to somebody? Can you help us? Can we find a way? I recognize that we made a mistake and we missed registration, but we would really be grateful if you could help us get him enrolled, even though he's a knucklehead and he missed it." Uh, Short in of that story is 10 minutes later, he was enrolled for a full course load, right? So by simply acknowledging somebody, asking for their help, uh, admitting your own shortcomings and understanding what those are, and then expressing genuine appreciation for people. In this example, not only did it set my son up to, be a college graduate, but it also helped me get him out of the house faster, right?
That's
So
why you'd say get in the
yeah,
car.
so yeah, I mean, that instance helped him, but it also helped me. And that lady that we interacted with felt better about having helped somebody that day. So it really gratitude and appreciation for people um, intersect not just in business, but in our everyday life. And when we find opportunities to talk about that and to express that and share that, it doesn't cost us anything, right? It didn't cost me anything to walk into that office and say, "Can you just help me? I would appreciate you, and I know you have a tough job." It cost me absolutely nothing, but it changed the course of my life somewhat, and certainly my son's life. So just a quick example of how you can use gratitude in your everyday life. Uh,
That story really resonated with me because it made me remember a personal, my story is shorter than yours, but it's a personal example that's very much like your son's. But I didn't have a parent to throw me in the car. And actually it's a little different. So I was in college and I really wanted to make sure in my head, and you gotta wait for the ending here. I thought I wasn't gonna have enough credits to graduate when I wanted to. So I was determined to take a winterim course during winter break. So I found a course and I stood in the ridiculously long line. I got there in the middle of the night to get in this line. And I did my due diligence. There were a lot of students falling asleep and whatnot because winterim was like a lot of kids were facing like I gotta graduate, I gotta repeat the course. It was worse than signing up for your regular course schedule. So I'm standing there. The line finally starts moving. I was actually there so early, but yeah, I was outside the building. When the line started moving, I was like, yes. And I'm getting into the building, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I don't feel so good. Guess what I had to do? I
get
had to
out of
step
line.
get out of line and vomit is really what I did. And there was no getting back in the line. Okay. So now I'm feeling awful because I was very sick. And I'm very perturbed that I'm not able to sign up for the classes, right? Because I know that I'm out of line. There's no way in God's green earth that there's going to be an opening. So much like you did with your son, once I was able, physically able, I did not live on campus, so I had to call. I called the school and I said, "Hey, I was in the line in the middle of the night." And I was so desperate, man. I was like, I could give you witnesses. I could tell you people there. I'm not lying. And I'm like, I just need this course. Is there anything I could do? Please, 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 please. They felt so bad for me because they're like, that really sucks. Like you were sick. Because I was so sick that I didn't have to go to the hospital. I was dehydrated. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so they actually were so kind to me and gave me grace, right? And they let me take that course. But fast forward, I think they also felt really sad for me because I think they thought I couldn't do math because I was actually graduated earlier than expected. So they're probably like, this poor girl, let's just get her in this
Let's get her
course.
out.
What's wrong with her? Well, there was a few things, but it is, and I was very grateful to them. And, just shows you how gratitude, and I think both of our stories, grace plays a role too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how do you think, fast forward now to ourselves and our young adult selves, and how gratitude and ecosystems work together? How do you think, or do you feel that they're dependent, and what ways do they in the business world collaborate?
I mean, so the list is long, so let's just pick a jump off point. Right. So when we think about one of the things that are the uncertainty of business is, particularly if you're an entrepreneur or you're a small business, right? Nothing is ever guaranteed. And think back to the old saying, never burn a bridge, right? So gratitude can play a lot into that. So for example, a couple of years ago, I walked into a client's office uh, who I was hoping to be a leadership development coach for. And so I got there. We'd had several discussions previously, and the owner of the business said, right now we don't have it in the budget. We really would like to have this training, uh, but we just can't do it right now. So in the back of my mind, I was like, man, you just wasted hours of my time because you knew you weren't going to be able, right? And this is the little voice inside my, you weren't going to be able to pay for this service. Why did you waste my time? Right. And instead of being angry, or instead of displaying my anger, I thanked them for spending time with me. And I said, here's 2 or 3 things that you guys taught me about business and about yourselves and about your industry. And I appreciate you guys spending that time with me. And if I can ever help you, uh, I really think I can help you. And if you ever at a time and a point where you need me, just call me. So fast forward, and then I put them on my regular contact, send them an email every quarter, something like that. About 18 months later, they called me and they said, hey, one of the reasons they called me back was they had such a great experience during discovery. And they liked the fact that I appreciated their business, that not their money, but their business, the fact that they were out there making their business happen and were making tough choices along the way. What could they invest in, what they couldn't. So by expressing that gratitude and that thankfulness and being a little bit thoughtful in my reply to them, didn't get me business in the moment, but it got me business 18 months later. So just not being, just showing gratitude and being kind, and showing a little bit of grace. Hey, you just wasted a whole bunch of my time. And recognizing that let's put this in the future opportunities bucket rather than a waste of time. And that makes a lot of difference. And because when people feel appreciated, they, you become part of them, whether they know it or not. So in business, not burning that bridge, always showing appreciation and gratitude, and always finding the inherent value in those relationships is just super important, because you never know when those connections are going to bear fruit. And it may never bear economic fruit, right? But friendship and community also spring from those types of interactions. So it's just so important in our business life to be mindful of how we treat people, and show the grace and show generosity, and be curious about who they are and what they want to do. And it'll pay off every time, every single time. It's never a wasted effort. Never.
I feel like you shared another story that I can totally relate with. So it's like I feel like I'm going back in the past here, but many, 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 many years ago, in the early days of my career, when I was a marketing consultant, I had called upon this one prospect, and I was advised by everybody, my boss's boss, colleagues, everybody, like, stop, don't waste your time. Don't. They don't accept help from anybody. Just don't do it. And these people obviously don't know me because that was like challenge accepted. And so, but the real reason why I kept dropping in on this business was because I knew I could help them and I wanted to help them. I wanted to do it because I love helping people. That's the name Empower People, but also because I knew how important they were to the community. Like if I could help this business, not that they were in trouble, but I knew if I could just help them move the needle even more, oh my gosh, the ripple effect was going to be huge. So I was just like, I can't accept, I just can't accept it. Can't accept it. That's just how I am. So I call every time I passed by that business, I dropped in every time. And I didn't go in with like, you got to buy from me. I went in with, let me help you. If you let me help you, I sincerely want to help you. And this is how I want to help you. This is how I can help you. And I got, no, thanks for trying. And many times I never got a restraining order put on me. And eventually they're like, I have never encountered anybody who was so persistent as you, who just, they're like, fine, just fine. Let's do it. Let's see what you can do. And I was thrilled, right? But was I thrilled because was it like, haha, I finally got the business nobody else could get? Nope. I was like, this is so exciting because now we can actually move forward and do these amazing things. And I'm just so excited that, and we did. And we did. And through that, they were able, like, and I was grateful to them because it was not just for the personal business, but grateful to them because I knew what that positive impact was going to be to the community at large and to everybody that they were serving. And then they were grateful to me because it helped their business, but also for the same reason, that purpose alignment, like your help, by helping us, we're helping all these other people. This is fantastic. And so it's a little bit, as Mike King would say, a little bit of kumbaya was going on, but it was purpose drives impact. And so I learned through that experience. Well, I wouldn't say I learned, it validated for me that purpose does in fact drive impact. Purpose and gratitude are very much aligned.
They are. One of the let's talk real quick about the gorilla in the room, right? When I got up this morning, it's overcast, right? I kind of had a kind of a busy schedule. Wasn't really looking forward to it because it's kind of the holidays, and I was like kind of just a little bit grumpy about having to get dressed, put a hoodie on, and do all the things that I have to do today, and those are the times when we really honestly have to tell ourselves, is this the time when I should be extra mindful about how I interact with people and display gratitude? Because when we slip into that place where everything is a nuisance rather than an opportunity, that's when things go sideways. And it's okay to be grumpy, and people have bad days, and it's never it's never comfortable to be in a bad mood, to have this thing is going wrong, that thing is going wrong. But 99% of the time, that person standing in front of you has nothing to do with those things. And that's when, especially in business, we have to say, I really don't want to be doing this, but this person is in front of me, or I'm talking to this person. I should show a little bit of appreciation, because guess what? They don't have to be talking to me, right? They could have just let my call go to voicemail again, or not replied to my email, or any number of things. So just remember that when we have those things, we're grumpy, we're tired, we don't want to do these calls again for the 100th time. guess what? Those people don't want to be receiving those calls or those emails. Maybe they've got things going on too. Maybe their entire 20-person family is in town for Thanksgiving and they've got other things they need to do, right? But we're here, and why not take the opportunity to make a positive impact, build a bridge rather than tear one down, and make the person we come in contact with feel better about having been in contact with you. And ultimately, that's really what it's about, because if we can build those kind of connections one at a time, one person inside an organization can change an organization, can change how an organization feels about itself, how it feels about you. So it's contagious, right? We don't like to use that word, but being appreciative and showing generosity and grace is contagious. You hear that old, that, hey, I'm in line at to get lunch, let me buy the person behind me. That was a fad for a while, and then it died out, right? Why did it die out? Why don't you see that on the news anymore? Because it wasn't disingenuous, right? They really were doing something kind, but it wasn't personal, right? So it's those initiatives where it's personal, and then you show gratitude, and then you show appreciation, and then you show grace on a personal level. Those are the things that stick, right? And stickiness is what it's all about, right? Persistence is just another big word for stickiness, right? It's stickiness. You stick to it, and you stick to those relationships, and you stick to showing gratitude, even when you don't necessarily have it in your heart in that moment. Fake it till you make it sometimes, right? We're not always happy, but let's, it's the right thing to do. So why not just do it?
I would say, to expand on what you said, to me, gratitude is also about like inventory. So if you're a business, you got to do your inventory checks, if you're selling items, like what's in my warehouse, what, you're taking stock, right? And that's really what gratitude is. It's almost like inventory management. It's taking stock in what you have. And in those moments where you feel like everything just plain sucks, guess what? That's when you need to do your gratitude assessment or your inventory assessment. You're going to find out that your warehouse isn't empty, that in fact, there are things in that warehouse. And when you become aware of those things, and a lot of times those things are not, in fact, things, they're relationships. Just like you said, when you're feeling down and out and you're like, oh, I got to talk to this person, the fact that another person wants to talk to you and value your input or your time says and speaks volume. Be grateful for that, right? So when you take that inventory, suddenly you can plan the steps forward. That's how you mark success, because it's taking stock in what you have and using those things that you have to move forward. And so if you don't take a moment to do that, that's when we end up in the rut, right? So if anybody who's listening to this show today, I'm going to offer some advice, and I'm going to point it back to you, Chris, to offer some advice. But I'm going to challenge anybody who's listening to this, because when most of the time, a lot of people are going to be listening to this. It's going to be December 2024. So we're at the end of the year. And what do we all do at the end of the year? We reflect. Where were we at the beginning of the year? Where we are at the end of the year? Where do we want to go into the next year, right? Take inventory. Check in. See what you're grateful for. We all have the tendency to go, shoot, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I wanted this goal. Maybe I didn't make. Okay, yes, do that. But you know what I want you to first do is take stock in what you are grateful for now while you sit at the end of 2024. And then say, wow, I'm really grateful for this. What can I do with this in 2025? How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I'll take it. I like to amp things up, right? We got to go to the next level.
We love sarcasm.
So here is exactly what I do at the end of the year. I look back over my monthly schedules, and I find people that I connected with earlier in the year that I should reconnect with. And then I write those down or I put them in a Word document. Yes, I still write my own notes. And then I say, okay, Tiffany Greene, I should reconnect with her because I haven't talked to her in a long time. And here's why I should reconnect with her, and why her relationship is important to me. And that way, when I get on the phone with Tiffany Greene, I can say, Tiffany, you're a great person. Here's why. I just wanted to reconnect. I appreciate, the help you gave me or the guidance you gave me. And I just want you to know you really helped me in 2024, and I appreciate that. And then I make 5 or 6 of those phone calls, one a day, a couple a day. And I contact 20, 25 people over the course of December, and it really energizes me. And I think it makes the other person feel better just by getting that call saying, hey, I appreciate what you did for me over the last year, and how much I value you as a person. So
one of the things I heard you say, without you actually saying it, it's a subtext to the context. There's always subtext to the context. We know this, right? Which is reciprocity.
yes.
Right?
Yep.
Because people, in terms of gratitude, gratitude's great, but everybody wants reciprocity. So if you acknowledge, like, hey, I really appreciate you, and because I appreciate you, I want to give back to you too. Those are the relationships that really flourish. So as you're following Chris's strategy for 2025, as you review your calendars, also say, hey, I really appreciate what you did for me back in March of 2024. Let me tell you how that impacted me. I want to do that for you in 2025. They will talk to you.
Yes, they will.
They will talk to you. So, Chris, we know we're gonna do this again.
Of course, yeah, we should.
Anytime. We're both very persistent individuals. So it's time to close out the show. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Evolve Together with Empowered People here on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. I'm your host, Tiffany Joy Greene. You've been also listening to the Hope Dealer, Chris Mayfield, and it's been a pleasure sharing this time with you. We hope today's episode inspired you, provided valuable insights, and empowered you to take the next step in your purpose-driven journey. Don't forget to connect with Empowered People on social media. Share your thoughts and join the Empowered People community, where education, connection, and support is offered to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. Until next time, keep evolving, stay empowered, and remember that together, ecosystems, we can achieve greatness. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next episode of Evolve Together with Empower People. Let's evolve together.